Hi folks, this is BJ Hathaway here in Augusta, Georgia. I want to welcome you to this video, what I call the Hogan pivot drill. And the reason I came up with this drill is because a majority of the people that come to see me for lessons, what I see in their pivot is that they tend to stand up through impact, lose their spine angle, lose the angle in their knees, and their right arm is usually almost completely straight, which leads to a loss of right wrist angle and basically causes a flip of the wrist through impact and all sorts of various mishits that we can almost not count. So we want to take a look at this screen on the right first. I believe Mr. Hogan had the best pivot in the history of golf. And if we look at the colors here, what I've done here with red is just mark address so we can see the red line along his right arm, straight right arm at address, which is most people. And we can see the height of his head. And unfortunately, almost all the video of Mr. Hogan is old and pretty blurry as far as compared to today's videos, but what I want you to notice is at impact, is he taller or shorter than he was at address? Spine angle looks the same, but he's shorter and his right arm is pretty massively bent. Especially if we take this line away, we can see just how much bend is in that right arm. So there's what we strive to look like at impact. So we need a drill to do to create that, don't we? So over here on the left, I'm just going through this in very slow motion. You can see I'm just starting the club about parallel to the ground. Got some bend in my right arm. And what I'm training to do, and what you should train to do, is use your pivot to move the golf club. And you can see it's very slow. Just rotating hips and shoulders from this position just over the top of the ball to simulate where the ball would be. You can do it with one hand, or you can do it with both hands. But the key is to get the feeling in your body that there's really nothing we have to do with the hands to make them move the golf club if we use the pivot correctly. This is pretty close. Now, I'm of course no Ben Hogan, but this is pretty close to how he would be at impact with a bent right arm, a pretty consistent spine angle, and using that pivot to move the handle. So if you want some lag and you don't have it, or if you tend to flip your wrists and stop your pivot and stand up, then I would suggest you start using this drill. You can see how slow I'm going to incorporate that feel. And then if you do about 20-25 reps, you can just go ahead and clip it off the tee. And over here I'll show you a front view. So if you're concerned about, well, you're not releasing the club, you know, the centrifugal force is going to get the club released. So we want to train to use the pivot to move the golf club instead of stopping the pivot, standing up and straightening the arms and using the wrist to hit the golf ball. And I would go very slow because this is something you're going to have to repeat quite a bit. But it's a great way to train, especially if you don't have enough time to go to the range or it's bad weather and you can't get out. You can do this at home. And there's a pretty good example of what we'd like to look like at impact. So we can see right arm still has some bend. Mr. Hogan had a bent right arm long after impact. Club shaft is just now in line with the left arm. So that's a great way to practice. I would suggest you try to incorporate this into your practice routine if you have a problem standing up or straightening your right arm or straightening your wrist or all the above. I would try to do 25 reps. And you can clip a ball off the tee, stand up, stretch out a little bit, do 25 more. Try to work up to at least 100 a day. Sounds like a lot, but it won't take you very long, and it's a great way to start training for a better pivot and better impact. Thanks for joining.